This local sales market insight for Gravesend and Northfleet is brought to you by Sealeys Walker Jarvis. As a Property Mark accredited estate agent, Sealeys understand the importance of adapting to market conditions and getting the price right from the start. That approach not only builds trust, it also helps secure strong buyer interest, multiple offers, and sometimes sales above asking prices. Michael.
Thanks, Phil. We're passionate about giving every single property maximum exposure across all of the property portals, helping sellers achieve timely, stress-free sales and giving buyers more choice in the market. Rightmove statistics show we stand out with fewer price reductions and fall-throughs, proof that our accurate valuations and smart pricing strategies benefit everyone involved in the process.
Those stats are very telling, aren't they? They're good. To speak to the team, visit sealeys.co.uk, give them a call, or drop into the branch at Parrock Street, Gravesend.
Gravesend has a sales market with a lot working in its favour. It's well connected, it offers a strong local lifestyle, and it has a wide mix of homes that can suit different budgets, from flats and terraced houses right through to larger family homes. That variety continues to be one of its biggest strengths. But how is the actual sales market shaping up as we reach the height of summer? Let's start with the latest figures. We're looking at a pretty balanced sales market rather than one moving sharply in either direction. Over the past 12 months, the average sale price in Gravesend has risen by 2.6% to around £342,000. And at the same time, the current average asking price is around £341,000, which is 2.9% lower than last summer. So the overall picture is steady but price sensitive. Completed sale prices show that Gravesend is still holding its value, but lower asking prices suggest the market has adjusted to today's buyer expectations. For sellers, the key message is that demand is still there, but ambitious pricing is less likely to work. Marketing and pricing your property correctly is key. In total, more than £382 million has been spent buying homes in Gravesend since mid-2025, which gives a clear sense of the scale of activity in the local market. Looking at prices by property type, flats in Gravesend sold for an average of £169,700 over the past year. Across the wider southeast, the average was just over £210,000. Terraced houses made up for the largest proportion of sales in Gravesend, selling for an average of around £315,000 compared with £326,000 across the region. Semi-detached homes showed a similar pattern. In Gravesend, the average sales price was around £396,000 compared with £407,000 regionally. Detached homes naturally sit at the higher end of the market, but even here, Gravesend continues to compare well. The average detached home sold for £596,000 locally, compared with £622,000 across the southeast as a whole. Overall, Gravesend continues to offer better value across every major property type. That gives buyers a noticeable price advantage locally, particularly those looking for a first home, an investment property, or something more manageable in terms of budget. That does not mean the market is without its challenges, but these prices are a strong reason why the area remains attractive. There has been plenty of uncertainty too. Interest rates have not fallen as quickly as many expected. Global conflicts continue to affect confidence, and political uncertainty at home has also played a part in how buyers and sellers are approaching the market. On average, it now takes around 29 days to find a buyer locally, which is 11% longer than it was a year ago. Around 31% of properties also reduce their price from the first listing before receiving an acceptable offer. Although homes are taking a little longer to sell, it is important to keep that in context. 29 days to find a buyer is still much quicker than the national average, so Gravesend remains a relatively active market. Buyers across the country have more choice than they did before. When there are more homes on the market, people tend to take longer to decide, compare more carefully, and negotiate harder. The right price can still attract serious buyers. The wrong price can mean sitting on the market for longer and potentially having to reduce later. There are also several local developments that continue to support Gravesend's longer-term appeal. At St Columba's Close in Gravesend, the council is set to provide 46 new homes aimed at local residents. A new master plan has also been developed for the town centre, with proposals for open space and environmental improvements over the longer term. Around Ebbsfleet International Station, the Ebbsfleet Development Corporation's 2026 and 2027 plan confirms further investment in new roads, utilities and public spaces. These projects matter because they add to the wider story of the area. Gravesend already benefits from strong connectivity, but continued investment in infrastructure, housing and public spaces shows it's an area that is always evolving. It's not just the property market that makes Gravesend attractive. The local lifestyle is a big part of the appeal too, especially during the warmer months. In July, Fort Gardens will host outdoor theatre performances, including Alice's Adventures and the almost complete history of Britain, bringing family entertainment into one of the town's open-air spaces. Then, in September, Gravesend's Heritage Open Days will celebrate the area's rich local history over 10 days with a focus on its maritime, military and riverside heritage. We've also got the Gravesend Maritime Festival, which will bring more activity to the Thames, highlighting just how important the river is to the town's identity. And beyond the events calendar, the area has plenty to offer all year round. Places such as Kamer Park in Mepham and Trosley Country Park near Vigo give residents easy access to open space, countryside and a more village-like feel, all within reach of Gravesend itself. That mix of town, river, countryside and connectivity is a major part of why people continue to choose the area. Overall, Gravesend remains a strong and good value sales market. For anyone thinking of selling, the best approach is to start with clear, local advice and a pricing strategy that reflects today's market, not last year's expectations. Whether you're moving to a larger home, downsizing or thinking about selling an investment property, the team at Sealeys Walker Jarvis is here to help. We can guide you through the local market, talk you through your options and help you take your next step with confidence.
Sealeys Walker Jarvis. You can find them at sealeys.co.uk, call them on 01474 369 368 or drop into the branch at 184 Parrock Street, Gravesend.